Good afternoon, everybody. April 24th, 2018, 12:04 p.m. midday review. We're going to run through some charts quick. I didn't get the midday reviews posted last night. I'll do that first thing tonight when I get some time down. There's 4 or 5 videos that I got to get posted. All the charts are structured charts anyway, so they've got shelf life. If you have a chart that you want to look at, just put it in as soon as possible. I'm going to try and keep these middays as short as possible. So here's what I'm watching right now. The S&P, when it dumped back in, what would it be, April 2nd, we had this all modeled and structured in advance. And it kept dropping out of the bottom support of the model. We entered in at the drop, hit our target as it proved out over each of these horizontal support and resistance zones. We trimmed in advance, trimmed in advance, and then the 200 MA or the other MAs we trimmed in advance and added all the way up to this mid-quad resistance. So anytime they're at the middle of that triangle or diamond, I guess, so right there, 26267 and 26799 were major resistance points. As this was here, a major support, 25751. Anyway, fantastic trade. Got up too high too early on the target. I told the world, I fed out an alert publicly that it was divergent to the bull side and that we could expect it to come off. It came back off into the target zone, and then since it's been sloppy. If it doesn't get a turn here, it's targeting 26267 on April 27th. If it does get a turn, your first target is back to 26799 on the same date, and real bullish scenario would put you in 27318 on the same date. So that's April 27th, 28th kind of area, give or take a day. Right now I'm going for the down, but we'll see. So that's the S&P. Gold, I've been posting this chart for some time. This is a daily model. This is the structure that we're working with right now. So it's come off a number of times at this resistance. So fantastic area to short. I've started to enter long in here, and I've got ads in here. So I'm targeting 1352.86 on May 4th. Best bullish scenario is 1385.86. Well, there's another target up top, but I don't think we're going to see that. Downside looks like it's in play, 1315.05, and a real bearish scenario is 1277.59. Trade in accordance to price. I am trading the structure, thinking that we're going to break to the upside. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's my hedge anyway. All of our plays, with the exception of this one, are all positive side plays in the last month and a half. GDX, so I put out an alert this morning that it was at the quad wall support, so this diamond is the quad wall, and sure enough, it's got its bounce. Actually, I think I put that alert out last night. It's getting up near the 200 MA. It's a little hard to see there on that chart. I'll just magnify it for you. That pink line there is the 200 MA. So you're going to get some resistance in there. Your main resistance, though, is at 2314. The one below that is at 2297. The one below that, which is next on deck, is 1280 if it holds above. I mean, sorry, not 1280, 2280 if it holds above 2265. Here I'm targeting about June 4th at 2314 as a moderately bullish. If it gets bearish and falls out of its structure on me, it'll be 2107 on June 5th. I'm hoping I actually get either 2514 though, or the most bullish scenario being up in here at 2731. But I'm shooting for 2519, hoping and praying. As long as it stays in its structure, it's in play. This is most probable though on that date, the 2312. But I'm hoping for the 2514. Okay, so that's GDX. Then this is Bitcoin. So this is one of the models that's been hitting absolutely perfectly. On its way down, it was hitting the mid quad target all the way. You can see there. And then here, it didn't get down to the mid quad target before it took off. That's a bullish signal. And so I alerted on that as a possible turn on Bitcoin. And since then, it's done fantastic. Got up to the next resistance, hovered around it, got up to the next resistance, the 50 MA, hovered around it, got to the next, which is the quad wall. But not only is that a quad wall, that's actually the channel wall. Got over top of it, and now it's about to test the 200 MA on the daily and a very important mid quad at 9856.9. If you want to trim heavy into that, if it gets it, it's shooting for 13842 on May 21st. Moderately bullish is not so bullish is 989190. Bearish is 58716. But I think we're getting at least to that mid or the upper of that quad. If this does in fact hold the turn above here, this is your new channel. So that's a simple model on Bitcoin. The day trading model has been firing off on all cylinders. Here's the mid quad. It's been, coiling around that support and resistance. Then the power move came in when it touched the 200 or got near the 200. There's a 30-minute chart, and then boom, right up to the top of the quad. And so now it's right at the top of the quad with resistance on 93.80, and here the target is 987890 on May or April 28th ish. So that's what we're shooting for at minimum. Google nailed this structure, another one that we had modeled in advance. This is its washout and started alerting in here. That's the 200 MA. This is a daily chart, so it's a large structure. And up through first, second, well, third, 3 resistance points, 4, 5, just about to the mid quad. So your main resistance in this time cycle, 1103.29. Sure enough, it backed off and backed off early, so that's a bearish sign. That should tell you to trim super heavy. Lost that support, big time short, and now it's sitting right around the just under the 200 MA and this quad wall. Typically in a big dump like that, you'll see an overshoot. So it doesn't surprise me that you're seeing it underneath that quad wall. You have heavy duty support at 995, call it. Big support. So our target on this one is 110375 on July 2nd. Going to Momo here this morning, ATOS. Can't remember if I put anything like that on my public feed. Yeah, I just talked about the fact that the daily chart structure sucks. Never stops going down. So the bottom players were on it, and what else am I going to say? It's a double, triple bottom here. Testing the 20 MA right now. The 200 MA is your absolute resistance of 538. I shouldn't say absolute, your primary resistance. And I just don't have anything constructive to say about it other than, watch your 50%, 75%, 100%. Yeah, there's just not, there's not a lot to say about it. Careful, the sharks are in there. EV, so back up at the 200. So I think I did put out a post on this one. So EVLV right into that 200 MA and then backed off really hard. Again, it's testing it up 38%. Same thing with this one. There's not a lot I can say other than watch your MAs. That's a strong resistance there. And your 50, 75, and 100% trim at. And that's about it, really. You just got to, have the skills to bring it down on time cycles and know what to watch. You got to bring it down on the 1, 5, 15, 30 and know those charts really well. Be able to watch your squeeze momentum, your MACD and your stock RSI, know what they are and how they relate to each other and to the MAs and the price action and volume. You get all that down and then you can start to compete with those people. Yeah, that's about all I can really give you on that one. Snap, not easy to trade. Right now, if it gets up over that 100 MA and holds it over 1575, then you're probably going to target about 1650. I put an alert out on that. We'll see if that proves out. HEAR, I actually like this one. It does have some structure. This is a weekly chart. And if you look at the weekly chart, it has got some structure to it. Now, lower high on last week, and this week is yet to be determined. So really it's a form of a bull flag on the weekly, a form of. If it gets going, I'll target around 1780, the 200 MA on the weekly. CHEK, I got an alert earlier today saying that off the halt, I would have liked to have seen it. So this was the public alert I put out. Trading over the 100 MA, 863 after halt, looking for break of 10 with upside 200 MA on daily possible. Then I left for coffee and boom, it hit over the 100, just under the 200, and what a nice gain. To be honest, I didn't think it was going to happen, but you know, trust the charts, right? So we got a high of 1344 and I alerted it there in the 8 something, just over 100 MA. So dang it, I missed it. Beautiful trade. No excuse for that one. But you can't be in front of the monitor just 24 hours a day, every minute of every day. MARA, I'm looking for over the 50 MA around 175. Not a big target, 2 2.25, you know, in between the 50 MA and the 100 MA on the daily. If it gets up over the 100, then look to your, or sorry, if it gets over the 200, look to your 100 around 280 once it gets there, 280, 290. Good looking chart though. Now I know it doesn't hold and it's, you know, junk as far as a real structural chart, but it's got some predictability and some structure to it. So that's MARA. PRTA, I can't remember what I had alerted on it. I don't think I put anything out publicly. I think it was on the private alert. Let's take a look here. I'll dig it up on the other monitor here. What have I done? Swing. I didn't put anything out on swing on it. I thought I put something out on this one. Oh yeah, I did. I traded it, and I flatted. So I got a jump on it, and then I flatted. And had I held, I would have been fine. So this is, yeah, sorry, I had myself a little confused there. This is my big washout from yesterday that I've been watching. And I did nail the turn, but then it came off, and now it's kind of fooling around. So yeah, low of day. It might dump more, but it was a good try. I do that on these washouts. I'll chip in and out, get the power so I get some lift, put my stop at my entry, and then eventually I'll get lift. And that's just how I handle these. So I'm just going to get another alarm on this. If you've ever checked out my trading on these washouts, I have a really high percentage of them, but sometimes I have to, you know, 10 times or so before I get lift. And then once you get lift, you can just scale and scale and scale. As long as I keep going. ZDGE. So this is chart structure. It's getting right into the zone that I really like. over $4. It's a definite long side trade. So I've got it alarmed right in that region, just under. And it's a bullish structure. It's a little funky, but at the end of the day, these have been running and they've been running big. So I'm watching this one very close. ZDGE. Tesla, we caught this one on the washout. Hit it really hard. It washed out. We got to add over each resistance and trim, and then we were out at the turn. Now it's right back at the support area. You got support right in around 279.84. Well, it got down to 278.86. Let's see exactly where this is. Yeah, it's right in that 279.8 region. So it overshot a little bit. We're still targeting 4.38, 1-ish, 3.2-ish on November 15th. This chart, those red dotted lines are support and resistance conventional, and then the other ones are support and resistance algorithm modeling. But it's been a fantastic chart. These white arrows give you your buy, sell triggers. So, you know, when you're going up in a trade to one of them, you trim into it, and then over top you add, and then trim into the next one, over top and add, trim into the next one, and that's how we trade. Facebook. This has also been a fantastic washout. This is, you know, Facebook and Tesla and the S&P and a few others. We took all at the same in the same kind of time frame, but we modeled this in advance, and it's worked out well. It got right into what we call the cradle of the quad, and then shot out of it. And same thing, you know, we caught near the bottom. You know, it would overshoot to the bottom side of the quad a few times. The MAs would pick it up. Resistance points we trimmed and added over top, trimmed and added over top, got good, and then boom, right into the mid quad. You see that? So this is the major resistance on this trading structure, right into the time cycle target. So these models have been killing it. And then sure enough, struggled, pivoted around that main pivot, coiled around it, and now it's lost it. Now here's interesting because it is come off to the downside of this quad wall. This is divergently bearish, so I'll be looking for a short-term long side trade, and then, you know, after it bounces, probably into the region of 163, further downside, because it looks like it's going to target, these quads aren't built out here, but it looks like it's going to target about 15341 on, that would come in May 2nd. Now, earnings are right away too, so that could really mess this chart up and make it divergent for a while. So that's Facebook. Out of all my plays, this Bitcoin play has been fantastic. We nailed this bottom so awesomely, just near perfect. We've been riding it up since. The returns are so huge, but it's all been good over the last month and a half. I think that's about all I wanted to look at today. Oh, there we go. There's another alarm. We better check our alarms here and just make sure we're on top of all these. So I will say that once again, that I'll get all the videos out tonight. There's a ton of good setups. We also have a special report coming out mid to late week for all the crypto and blockchain plays that we're watching. It's going to be a big report, and it's going out to the crypto members and the swing trading members. So make sure you watch for that. And there's a number of other announcements, and I won't go into them. But anyway, tonight I'll get the videos out so you can get back into our setups, because we've been winning a lot. And that special report coming out this week, and then there's another swing trading report coming out. So there's a whole bunch of swing stuff here yet to come out this week. So here's ESPR. We'll take a quick look at this. Okay, so ESPR has come up through the structure. Its main pivot is that white line, and it failed it and failed to the top. So it's right now it's just coiling around a pivot. There's really not a lot to say on that one right now. Check the other alarms here quick. SPR, Tesla, ZDGE, oil. In the oil room, I put out my bias as short, and sure enough, it's dumping. And sure enough, I missed my execution. I do that a lot, where I'll put out my bias to the traders and miss my execution. Okay, that's it for me on the day. I don't think there's any charts in the room. It's 12/24, April 24th. That's midday, and I'll get all the reports and videos out tonight for the swings. Take care.